For a long time, I've remained almost silent into the progress and development of Napoleonic World. But recently, I've been getting many questions about it, and it seems you all are interested in hearing about the mod. So today, I want to share with you a story of development, where it went wrong, and the future of Napoleonic World. Napoleonic World began development in December of 2016. In history class, we were covering the Napoleonic era, and it piqued my interest. As with most topics in school, we only scratched the surface of the history, but I wanted to go further into my research. So during winter break, I took time to research all about the Napoleonic Wars. At some point, I came up with the idea to create a total conversion mod that would bring the player back to 1799 during the Second Coalition. It took 1 week to get all the basics in, and fairly quickly after that, I began to send early copies to other YouTubers. Napoleonic World had a lot of firsts for me. It was the first mod I made that edited the entire world and not just some central location. It was the first mod I made with focus trees. But my inexperience really hampered the quality of these things. The focus trees were small and the state borders were inaccurate. After 2 weeks of development, I released the mod. It was severely lacking features, but I felt as though I had to release it at that point. You know why? The release date. I specifically remember being worried that after the holidays people would go back to school and the success of the mod would be hampered by that. So I released it early. I really regret doing this. If I had taken longer to develop the mod, it could have been so much better from the start. When Napoleonic World was originally released, tanks and airplanes were still present in the game, in 1799. Fairly soon after Napoleonic World's release, another Napoleon-type mod was released. It seemed extremely similar to my mod, so I downloaded it and looked into the files. It was literally my mod with another coat of paint on it. I contacted the developer, furious, and basically demanded that it be taken down. I also contacted Steam, and after 2 weeks of waiting, they replied basically telling me they'd do nothing. Luckily, the developer halted further programming of the mod. This was the first time I learned just how vulnerable modders are to have their work stolen, and it's turned me into a huge advocate for giving credit where credit is due. If the developer had opted to make a submod, I wouldn't have been furious. But the fact that they took my work, changed it, and published it as their own really made me angry. After a while, things kind of became stale with development. There wasn't much traction anymore, and I became more and more uninterested in developing Napoleonic World with school starting again. Then Skullcrusher came aboard. Skullcrusher worked really hard to make changes to the map and add focus trees. He and I both worked to improve Napoleonic World, but eventually, once again, progress slowed and we stopped altogether. Then, in the summer of 2017, Skullcrusher surprised me with a whole new version of Napoleonic World. It was called Napoleonic World Redux. It was a significant improvement to the base mod, but there were still some issues with it. These issues were caused by, well, my lack of focus on fixing the errors as they showed up. At one point, Napoleonic World had over 1,000 errors. I've really learned my lesson there, and now I'm happy to say that with my most recent mod expanded resources, the errors remain almost non-existent. Did you ever wonder where I got most of my tips from in my video 5 tips for all modders? Now you know. Anyways, with more and more updates to the base game, Napoleonic World became increasingly unstable. Both Skullcrusher and I have tried to fix the crashing, but to no avail. The errors that we failed to fix back in 2016 have come back to bite us in the rear. So currently, Napoleonic World rests quiet. No development is occurring. Well, that was until 2 days ago. People were commenting on the Steam Workshop, if you no longer want to program for it, why not let someone else develop it? And well, why not? Even to this day, I'm very apprehensive and nervous about handing off my mods. But Napoleonic World deserves a future. So I sent a comment out asking for anyone with modding experience who wants to help mod Napoleonic World to contact my email, with full credit of course. I got a reply. Napoleonic World sits at a crossroad. I've allowed a developer to begin work on the mod, and I will remain supervisor. I don't know where this will take Napoleonic World, but if it all pans out, then you guys really have something to look forward to. I wanted to make this video to, 1, give you all an explanation. I've remained quiet on Napoleonic World for over a year, and I just shoved it out of my memory. I went months without looking at Napoleonic World's comment section. I also wanted to make this video to, 2, allow you to learn from my mistakes. Don't rush your mods. Don't allow a lengthy error list to persist. Alright, so that's my retrospective on Napoleonic World. As I said, Napoleonic World had a lot of firsts for me. We have the focus trees, editing a bunch of states. It was stolen at one point. You know, handing it off to Skullcrusher and he and I working as a team, that was another first. And now, of course, this latest development. So, I don't know the future of Napoleonic World right now, but, you know, hopefully it all pans out. So, if you did enjoy this video, maybe if you learned something, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, you know, the whole shebang. But, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.